All right, hello and welcome. So if you're in project management, I bet you've spent countless hours staring at those risk matrices, right? You're plotting those little dots based on probability and impact. It's the absolute bedrock of what we do. But what if I told you that simple two-dimensional view is a bit like trying to watch a blockbuster movie in black and white? It's time we dive into the hidden Technicolor dimensions of risk that can really make or break your project.
Okay, so you've got your classic probability versus impact matrix. We'll use a classic British village fate as our project. And our number one risk? Rain, of course. So we plot it, let's say, high probability, medium impact. Boom, job done, right? But, hang on, look at that lonely little dot. Does it tell you when the rain is going to hit? Does it tell you how much time you have to actually do something about it? Does it tell you that the vicar cares more about his prize-winning petunias getting soaked than he does about the tombola stall? No! So let's be honest, is this really enough?
To really get to the bottom of this, we're going to step away from the spreadsheets for a bit. We're going to plan a classic British village fete. I'm talking bunting, I'm talking questionable homemade jam, a Splat the Rat stall, the whole shebang. And through this glorious, slightly chaotic event, we're going to uncover a much richer and, frankly, more useful way to look at risk.
First up, let's talk about the dimension of time. See, a risk isn't just some static point on a chart, it's an event that's moving through time, and our relationship to it is constantly changing. Understanding the when is every bit as important as understanding the what if.
Now, the key thing with urgency is this. It's not about when the risk happens, it's about how much time you have to do something about it. So back at our FET, the forecast says rain at 3 p.m. It's 2:30 now, but that emergency gazebo, bless its flat pack heart, takes a full hour to put together. Our window to respond, it's already closed. The urgency is absolutely critical, no matter what we rated the impact.
Okay, so that's urgency. Now, don't get that mixed up with proximity. Proximity is simply how soon the event is going to hit you. Is the storm cloud a tiny speck on the horizon for tomorrow morning, or is it, as our weather app grimly informs us, currently looming over the next village? A risk with high proximity, well, it just feels so much more real. It's breathing down your neck.
And then, oh boy, you've got the sneakiest of the time dimensions, dormancy. This is your classic sleeper risk. The bad thing has already happened. You just don't know it yet. It's like those dodgy eggs someone bought for the Victoria's Sponge competition. The risk, buying the bad eggs, happened on Tuesday. But the impact? Well, the impact is only discovered when poor Judge Giles turns a rather alarming shade of green mid-bite on Saturday afternoon. These high dormancy risks are absolute project landmines.
So, we've looked at the when of a risk. But what about us? Our own agency in all of this. How much power do we actually have over these events? And that brings us to our second big area, the dimension of control.
And this is a distinction you've got to get right. We have zero controllability over the weather. We can't just tell the clouds to stop raining, but we have very high manageability. We can move the cake stall into the church hall, we can hand out ponchos, we can manage the impact. On the other hand, that very angry wasp's nest in the big oak tree right next to the bouncy castle, we can't manage that. We can't reason with them. The only option is removal. That's a question of control. Knowing the difference stops you from wasting energy trying to control the uncontrollable.
And how easily can we even see these things coming? That's detectability. A trestle table groaning under the weight of prize-winning marrows? That's pretty obvious. You can see it, you can hear it creak, you can get it sorted. That's high detectability. But a skilled pickpocket quietly mingling with the crowd? That is a very low detectability risk. It's happening right under your nose, and you'd be none the wiser till it's way too late.
Okay, and finally, let's just explode that simple impact score into a million pieces. Because a risk doesn't just have one impact, does it? It creates ripples, it has knock-on effects, and let's be honest, its importance is often in the eye of the beholder.
And this, my friends, is all about connectivity. Let's say a seemingly low-impact risk happens. The fuse blows on the tea urn. Big deal, right? Wrong. No tea means grumpy villagers. Grumpy villagers don't hang around, and they definitely don't buy raffle tickets. No raffle ticket sales means the FET doesn't raise enough money, which means we can't afford to reseed the cricket pitch for next season. A tiny electrical fault has just cascaded into a major strategic failure. That's connectivity.
Which leads us perfectly to strategic impact. See, the fete isn't just about having a nice day out with a bouncy castle. It's a proof of concept. It's designed to show the parish council that we, the fete committee, are a competent, organized bunch. If the fete is a complete disaster,
It sends a signal that we can't be trusted with the much, much larger grant for the new village hall. The failure of this one small project could jeopardize the entire organization's long-term strategy.
And now for my absolute favorite, propinquity. This is the squeaky wheel gets the grease dimension of risk. Objectively, a bit of water from the Splat the Rat stall splashing on some flowers is a zero impact risk. Who cares? But what if the owner of those roses is the head of the parish council, a very important stakeholder? Suddenly, her perception of that risk makes it your #1 priority. Propinquity is all about who cares, and more importantly, how much noise they're prepared to make about it.
Okay, so we've had our fun with the cakes and the bunting, but this isn't just about planning a village party, is it? This multi-dimensional view, it's like having a risk X-ray. It lets you see beneath the surface to the hidden fractures, whether you're building a bridge, launching software, or managing a factory floor.
So let's quickly run through our new checklist. For time, you ask, what's its urgency? How long do I have to respond? What's its proximity? How soon is it going to hit? And what's its dormancy? Uh-oh, has it already happened? For control, you ask, what's its manageability? Can we lessen the blow? Its controllability, can we stop it completely? And its detectability, how easy is it to spot? And finally, for impact, what's its connectivity? What else is it going to break? Its strategic impact, does this mess with the big picture? And its propinquity, who is about to have a meltdown over this? Now, I want you to take this back to your world. Think about a risk you've probably logged as low probability, low impact, something boring like a minor server failure. Now, run it through the X-ray. What's its dormancy? Could it be failing slowly right now, undetected? What's its connectivity? What other critical systems depend on it? And what's its propinquity? Is it the server that happens to run the CEO's favorite dashboard? Suddenly, that low priority risk looks very, very different, doesn't it?
So what does all this mean? It means that by moving beyond a simple chart and asking these deeper, richer questions, you aren't just identifying risks, you're truly understanding them. You're seeing them in all their complex, interconnected, time-sensitive glory. So, my question to you is this. Go back to your risk register. Which low-priority item on there is actually a ticking time bomb? Take a second, multidimensional look. The project you save, well, it just might be your own.